and you were messed up, the first thing you do is get yourself right. And then start praying for that child. And start showing them a different example. You know, and I do that for my kids all the time. Start texting them scriptures. Start texting them things. Now, don't overpower it, because, you know, I think one of the worst things in the world is kind of like somebody who used to smoke and now they can't stand smoking. And so they fuss at you when y'all used to be outside smoking together. So you can't all of a sudden just sit down and tell your kids how holy you are and expect that they're going to be holy that day. So it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a marathon. It won't be a race.
We got to hang out right there for a minute, because it's so important that we recognize exactly where we came from. Yeah. And you talk about in the book being honest with your children about some of the things that you experienced, and, you know, for each their own, for the filter that you put on it. But it's so important to recognize where we came from individually, so we can help our children at whatever point they are in their journey to become the best them that they can be.
It is, and you have to ask questions. You have to do it. I know that I drive my children crazy sometimes, because we're going to talk about it. You know, we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to share. I mean, I'm a graduate of Southern University. My daughter's a senior at Southern. She'll graduate in May. So a lot, yeah, thank you, Lord. So a lot of what she sees, I saw. So I'll just ask her. I'll just ask questions. We'll talk about it. You know, when I was at Southern as a freshman, I had to call my professor because I was late for a test because one of my friends was having an abortion. So we talked about it. We talk about things that happen. You have to share. Now, you need to be careful. Before you share, you need to pray about it. Because you have to know your kid. You have to know how strong they are. If they're going to use your test that became a testimony as reason for them to do it, then you can't use it.
That's good.
So you have to kind of pray about that and see. But you need to share. I do not like people that just talk about, oh, I've never done that. Well, that's probably a lie. Because if you didn't do it in deed, you did it in thought. And you're probably not doing it now because you can't. You know, we have to be careful as elders as we get older, that we have to be careful. Because I remember I was listening to a lady a long time ago in church, and she was talking about, ooh, these children, ooh, whatever. But my grandmother and she were friends. And so I remember when I was little, the stuff they did and the things they talked about. And it just made me angry, because it's like, how you helping them? What you said, baby, I know I did that. Let me tell you what happened to me. Instead of, oh, I never did that. You've lost her. And you lost Jesus because you're lying. You know, so you can't lose Jesus. I didn't mean that literally. He's never been lost. He's always been where he is. But you need to be careful. You need to be careful with that.
I think that's so amazing, because we overcome with the word of our testimony. And so it's so important that we not cover up where we've been, but we use it as ammunition and as power to make sure that we and the people that we are raising up behind us find better ways to do it, right? We say we go to work every day so that our children can have it better than what we had it, but we got to be careful about not making sure that they have their own experiences and they understand, so that they can appreciate where God is bringing them to as well.
Amen. And also be careful, because a lot of times we have dreams for our children. And a lot of times those dreams are unfulfilled things that we didn't do.
Just stay right there.
You know, so you have to be careful. You know, if you were going to be a doctor, because I see it all the time. I always want to be a doctor. My child's going to be a doctor. Well, your child really is doing great in ProStart. They want to go to culinary school. Their dream, their purpose. You got to let them live their dream and their purpose, not yours. If you want to be a doctor, well, try to get yourself back in school and make your own dream happen. Because we have it all the time. You know, kids will come in with their parents and they're failing, And we talked about, well, maybe a GED is a better option because with a GED you can go to junior college, go there for 2 years and